Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to a new episode of Master's Mind. Today we got a Zerg vs Protoss on the map Daybreak LE, and let's actually open up the name overlay right there. It's going to be me spawning as the red Zerg in the top right corner of Daybreak, and my opponent is spawning as the blue Protoss in the bottom left of Daybreak. And as you might notice from the colors and whatnot, this is actually a ladder game. I played this ladder game on stream a few days ago. And yeah, it's a pretty good example on how to differ your Zerg vs Protoss style from your standard kind of stuff. Normally I would open up with a 14 pool 15 hatchery. But in this game we are going to talk about the things that I was thinking about while playing this game. So it will change a little bit according to my normal playstyle. But since it's an early Sunday morning, I'm going to be sipping coffee while playing this game, so hold on. Ah, there we go. So, we are going to open up pretty standard. I was already streaming for quite some time when this game went on, so I felt a little bit ballsy, and normally after a pretty long time I kind of feel like doing something else. Because the standard Zerg vs Protoss style can get a little bit boring after some time, especially after playing like 10 in a row, so... normally I would open up with a 14 pool 15 hatchery, but in this game I notice his probe is being annoying. He's going to try and harass my mineral line right there, and I know that he won't be able to block my hatchery, and I know he will be able to block my hatchery if I make a pool first. So what I'm going to do is just send a probe out or a drone down to the low ground and start a hatchery first, which is a pretty ballsy thing to do, to be honest, in Zerg vs Protoss, because he can just cannon rush you if he went for a forge expand. However, since it's Daybreak LE, it's a pretty big map. I feel like I can pull it off to just go for hatchery first, because he will most likely went for a nexus first. So as you might notice, I'm going to follow it up with a spawning pool fairly quickly right after. I'm not going to risk making too many drones right there, but as you can see, I'm just going to chase his probe around to scout for any kind of cannon rushes that he might be doing, but I don't really suspect him. But right now, on the minimap, I see that he went for a forge first, or maybe he went for a nexus first, but I know there's a forge down and he actually throws down a pylon right behind my mineral line. So what I'm going to do is actually send a few drones from my mineral line back to his base, or back to my mineral line in the natural, and I'm actually going to harass his pylon that he's trying to put up, and he's going to try and actually make some cannons right now. And as you can see, I actually expected him to cancel that, but it turns out, nope, he isn't going to do that at all. And since it is a cannon, I know I will be able to put it ahead with only 4 drones attacking 1 cannon, and I will be able to kill it that way. But since he is throwing down 2 cannons right now, I actually do need to pull down some more drones. But in retrospect, pretty easy play right there. Going to make 6 Zerglings right now as well as 1 queen. Going to just make all those cannons be cancelled right now, and he might be able to finish 1 cannon, but it won't be able to do too much damage. So I got 6 Zerglings on the way right now, starting my 2nd queen as well, and I'm just going to let that pylon stay right now. And since I noticed he went for such a greedy build, he most likely also built a gateway first. So what is most likely going to happen is that I might be able to actually run into his base with my Zerglings that I made initially. But I'm not going to count on that too much. Only made 6 Zerglings right now, and I do notice that his cannon is actually pretty late. My first queen is out right now. I'm going to inject with that first queen once. Going to inject with the 2nd queen as well. There we go. And I actually have a drone already at his 3rd base, but meanwhile I am able to run into his base. Going to start my 3rd base myself, and I have Zerglings into his main base right now. Just going to not lose any early on. I'm going to try and actually get as many harassment done as I possibly can. Going to use my queen to actually clean up the pylon right behind my mineral line at my natural, because, well, it needs to go down at some point. And right now I'm just going to try and pick up some drones if I'm able to, but mostly just trying to not make him mine, because, well, mining will just be the one thing that will put me ahead in the long run. Because if he is not mining, there's really no way he can get any kind of income. So right now, just going to rest a little bit with my Zerglings. Want to try and pick off as many drones or as many probes as I possibly can. Already killing a bunch right now. Let's actually take a look at the workers killed. Already killed 6 workers. That is including his first scouting worker, as well as denying his cannon rush early on, which will basically put me ahead, especially because I got my 3rd base already going down. So as you can see, I'm also starting my double gas around the 6-minute mark, maybe a little bit after it. And I'm also going to put those into saturation right away. Going to put drones in there, because I will need all the gas that I can if I want to start producing any kind of roaches. And of course, at this point, there's a few things that we have to take a look at. Like, what is he going to be able to do at this point? Well, since I did so much damage early on, when behind, use Dark Templar. This is rule 1, especially if you're in a lower league. Dark Templars are like the best way to ever get back in a game as a Protoss player. So, first of all, you need to realize that he might be going for any kind of DT play. Even if he's only on 2 gas, it is possible, and it will most likely hit pretty early. You have to just keep in mind that it might be coming. Second thing that he might do is just chrono boost a lot of probes out and just get back into a normal game, which we will be ahead from the start. He might also go for like a Blink Stalker all-in, maybe an 8-gate all-in, maybe a 7-gate all-in. But the biggest chance of the things that he will be doing... Okay, let me rephrase. Like, the least chance that he will be doing is an expansion build, because, well, he will just be already behind from the start, and there's really no way he can be pulling off an expansion at this point in the game. However, it might still be a possibility, so I'm not going to be counting on it too much. I used my first 100 gas to actually start a lair right now, and I'm also going to start a Zergling speed. I also started my Roach Warren. Roach Warren is already finished, going to start the Roach speed upgrade as soon as my lair finished, and I'm going to start a Overseer in his base to check out what he is up to, because I have absolutely no clue what he is about to do. Now, I also just start a Overseer in my base itself, just because of the Dark Templar possibility, because as always when behind, make Dark Templar, but I feel fairly safe. I know that he won't be pushing out just yet. I know that I will be able to drone up a little bit harder right now. So as you can see, 10 more drones on the production tab right now. I got all my upgrades going down, and I'm just checking what's going on, and it turns out he's actually chrono boosting his his Nexus. So this instantly tells me that he is going for some kind of economic build. He's also having a robotics facility out right now, as well as chrono boosting a forge. So he might just go for a 2-gate or a 3-gate or a robotics facility expansion into a 3rd base. Excuse me, but you know, that was kind of unlikely. I didn't really expect that would be happening, but you know, you never know what's happening with a Protoss player nowadays. So let's take another sip of my coffee. At this point, I'm actually kind of putting him on an expansion kind of build, especially seeing the sentries out right now. I see a Stalker being out as well, which is kind of weird, but since he was already making a lot of Immortals and he was chrono boosting his Nexus, it kind of felt like he was going to try and expand later on. So either way, if he's going to push me or if he's going to just make a 3rd base, I know that I will be able to actually make an army right now, and I know that I'm fully saturated in any case. So what I will be able to do is just push ahead with all the stuff that I currently have. If you take a look at this production tab right now, let me just... There we go. Okay, if you take a look at the production tab right now, you can see that I'm only making units. All my upgrades already finished. I actually have a macro hatch, and I noticed that his 3rd base is already up with so many gateways, and what this will mean is that he simply won't have anything in case of army. As you can see, he has a few sentries out, he has a few Immortals, but that's pretty much it. He's going for an incredibly greedy expand right now. And what he will try to do is actually get ahead economically. And if I don't punish him for that right now, I know that I won't be able to win this game if I don't try. So here we go. He puts up some decent force builds, but he doesn't actually defend his sentries all that good. So I am actually going to sacrifice a few roaches to kill a few sentries right now, because the sentries are the only thing that is keeping him alive right now, and I know my production will be a lot bigger than his. So as long as I actually keep injecting with all my bases, I know that I will be able to push ahead eventually. So here we go. He's once again going to throw up some force build, but he's actually out of energy right now. So I'm going to try and target fire a few of those Immortals. Actually going to surround his army pretty nicely right now. Once again target firing all the Immortals, as well as target firing the sentries if I'm able to. And I'm once again going to just keep injecting with all my queens, and that way I will be able to clean up his army. Incredibly greedy play by him, but it was pretty much the only thing that he could do besides an all-in. And that's pretty much it. GG's. I want to thank you all for watching. Have an awesome day. Don't forget to smile, and I see you again. Bye!